You're listening to episode 51 of the Let's Go Comic Show. Today we talk about WonderCon, Dark Knight's Metal, canceled Deadpool cartoons, and we smell those floppies.
This is episode 51 of the Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
And I'm Matt.
And we are here to talk about comics, comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, everything in the world of comics.
We are.
Matt, when we talk about comics, how do we talk about them? What do we say about them? How do we let others know that, hey, you're making good decisions, friends?
We do that with our patented...
Time-tested, mother-approved.
Mother-approved, yes. Let's Go Comic Show rating system.
And what is that?
That would be the best one we go would be Gotta Go. Below that is a Let's Go.
There you go.
Below that is Go. And below that is a Don't Go.
Don't go. Don't do that.
Indeed. I had to think about it a little bit. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded it. And
yeah, we took a week off for Easter.
Not in my heart anymore. I don't know. I need to get back into it.
It's not in his heart. It's in your heart. It's there. It's in your heart. So anyways, yeah. So I got to go to WonderCon last week, and it was kind of lonely, just walking around, talking to creators. You know,
just listening to the sad piano music from the Hulk TV show.
Yeah, it played in my. Matt wasn't there with me, so it was hard to. I know, little piano trickles, like sun's going down.
Sun's getting real.
They
low.
need to start. Yeah, they need to start playing that like Hulk theme when he does that. Sun's getting low.
Sun's getting very low.
It's getting low. The sun is actually doing the limbo. So, anyways, I got to go to WonderCon, and
yeah, what was going on with that?
It felt very uneventful. Like, I feel they saved all the big news for Comic-Con, but I feel like some of the news that came out was pretty big. You heard a lot of DC. I mean, DC's there. Marvel is not there. DC has a booth. They're taking advantage of everything. You know, they kind of sponsor it. Like, you see a lot of Krypton posters everywhere, which is funny because it's right next to Disneyland. You think Disney would be like, hey, Marvel, be here, you know? So many cosplayers, dude, everywhere. Like, I'm not like a guy who takes a bunch of pictures of cosplayers, but it was like really interesting.
But now you are.
But now I am. No, there was this really funny thing. Like, it was a Congo line of Spider-Man outside. I was just happening to go and get like some food, and I saw that, and I was like, that was funny. That was a good time.
That make your heart happy?
It did make my heart happy. I was like, hey, I may be myself right now.
A ray of sunlight.
Ray of sunlight. Yeah. And so I did get to hang out for a brief moment with our own DeLon Anderson's cousin, Brian Anderson. So that was cool. Like, I always have a con experience with him. And it was funny because I went and saw Batman Ninja, and I missed a little bit of it because I had some issues.
So they showed the whole film? They
showed the whole thing. I got to see the last half of it and some of the interviews with there's two different voice casts. There's the Japanese cast, and then there's the American cast. And they were both there, and it was really cool seeing everybody be a part, you know, of on the stage, and they're both like excited for each other. And I forget the cat's name that was at Gotham by Gaslight, who did Harvey Dent's voice, but he was there because he plays, I think, all the Robins. I think he plays Jason Todd and Red Hood.
Oh, and nice.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Aren't those the same people though?
Sorry, Tim Drake, or I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm off somewhere.
Jason Todd and Red Hood. Yeah, he plays both of them.
I think he plays both. I know what you're doing. You're not so slick, Matt Ritchie.
I'm not slick. You're the one separating out Jason Todd and the Red Hood.
Hey, they're two different people.
Comic book podcast.
Hey, spoilers. So, so anyways, he was there and he's part of the cast. It was good. It was a fun time, dude. The artwork on this, the animation, I mean, is fantastic. It's like when you watch something like Gotham by Gaslight, where you're like, man, I just felt like they had no budget.
Right.
The budget's on Ninja.
Oh, okay.
This thing looks amazing. It comes out April 24th, so I'm definitely gonna buy it.
That's not too far away.
Not too far away, man. It's like Avengers. Well, I'm waiting for Avengers Infinity War to come out.
Oh, yeah.
That day, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna watch some of this Batman Ninja. Yeah, it looked.
Hold you over.
Oh, dude, it was so good. I only saw the end of it too, and so it was really good. Anyway, so I ran into Brian because the Ready Player One thing was right afterwards, and there was like this like rumor online that they were going to show Aquaman stuff. But they weren't. WB was just doing Ready Player One. So I saw some of that, and that was cool.
Yeah.
The cast came out. They're like, hey.
And you haven't gone to see it yet?
No, I was trying to on Tuesday.
I finally saw that this week.
Oh, did you like it?
It was a go for me.
Yeah, it was a go?
It was fun.
Have you read the book?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. I think some of the choices they did were actually better than the book, like some of the adaptation changes. But I wasn't like floored by it or anything.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if a lot of it's just because Warner Brothers has access to certain things, and like we're going to throw all the things that we have access to, or the things that they can like easily acquire, and the things that Spielberg was like, let me talk to Zemeckis and let me talk to
dude, it looked awesome. There were so many good references and Easter eggs and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I want to go watch it. I'm hoping I can see it. By the way, my wife did not want to see it either.
Really?
Yeah, I was trying to. Like a mutual friend of ours was like, "Hey, we should go see it," and I was like, well, "I'm gonna see if my wife wants to see it." She's like, "There's nothing good out." I was like, "I can see like there's like 7 movies right now that I can go watch right now." And she was like, especially with that movie pass, I can watch bad movies.
Congrats, man! Yeah,
yeah, came in less than a week, dude.
Your threshold for like what you'll go see in the theater just disappears.
You're like. It's like there's no risk anymore.
Yeah, I've seen like so many movies where I was like, that wasn't that great, but like Father
I
Figures.
may go see
Father Figures.
Father Figures. What is that?
Good. Ed Helms and Owen Wilson.
Oh gosh,
and they're trying to find their real dad.
That sounds terrible. But
it had some good moments, but yeah, it just wasn't very good.
Well, we can watch Blockers this week.
Tomb Raider. Okay, Blockers actually looks really funny.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
now we're on this whole like movies I want to see tangent.
You can see anything.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing costs anymore except for one small fee of $80 for the year. I'll do that. Dude. Anyways, so want to go see that. The cast seemed like a whole lot of fun. So there we go. But other than that, like the biggest news for me coming out of WonderCon was really the Justice League news that came out in the morning. Like DC had this big like powwow, and so the Justice League book that we talked about 2 weeks ago with Scott Snyder, that's and Jorge Jimenez and I forget who else is working on it, but that's kind of like the core book. But then they have 2 other books coming out: Justice League Dark, which is coming back, written by James Tynion. So that's cool.
Yeah, so he's part of that whole crew. Like he's actually been like connected with Scott Snyder. Like kind of was the person that got him in. Years ago.
Yeah.
So he had,
I totally forgot about that. Good call.
Yeah, so
it
was the oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the title of it.
They did the Gates of Gotham together.
Gates of Gotham, yes. Yeah. That's where he first got in, which was really good.
Yeah. So that was cool. I'm like, oh man, I like Justice League Dark. I bought it. I think I bought like a good 20 issues of it through the New 52. Yeah.
Wow.
Next episode. All right, so there's that, and then the one I didn't care so much about was Justice League Odyssey, written by Josh Williamson and art by Stefan Sayek, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
Stjepan Sayek.
Stjepan, yeah, there we go.
He did the first part of this Aquaman run that I've liked a lot. Mm-hmm. He was the guy doing that art for the bulk of that.
Yeah, so the art looked really good, the stuff they showed.
Did you make it to this actual panel?
Yeah,
well?
I was sitting in the panel, and
I heard that Scott Snyder he wanted to call it Justice League WTF or something like that.
What he compared it to was the Teen Titans Go episode, The Night Begins to Shine. He said, that's what it is, but it's the Justice League, and that kind of made me like, okay, a little more like excited about it. But
Justice League in space.
Yeah, I don't know if I just can't buy 3 Justice League books. I kind of like when the Justice League is just Justice League.
Just
the Justice League. Because it starts to become diluted. Like, I like Justice League Europe. I like Justice League International. But then when they became Justice League Task Force and Extreme Justice and all this other stuff, I just didn't care anymore. I was like, too much.
So do you feel like 3 is too much?
I think 3 is too much. It becomes like the Avengers and X-Men. Like, dude, one book of the best heroes. And maybe rotate the art teams. Maybe like Snyder does his story, jumps off. Tynion can come in, jumps off. Williamson,
Yeah.
The one thing I did like, they showed this like cool version of Cyborg, and I think they're trying to make him less of a. I don't know. He looked like he had pants.
Really?
I don't know. He had pants and like a slimmed down look, and I was like, I kind of like that look for Cyborg. Had a very modern.
A little bit of a different look in the Justice League book currently.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it looks like they're going somewhere with it. And I feel like who else was on the team? Was it? It was is it Lobo and Starfire? I'm forgetting.
It was Darkseid.
Darkseid. That's right. That was the thing.
Darkseid with a hood.
Yeah, people are like, what? And so I don't know.
Well, it's this interesting thing. Yeah. I mean, we can maybe wait to talk about it till a little bit down.
Yeah,
but, I mean, like when you have, down the road, like in this episode, when we talk about metal, because that sets up a new status quo that I think is actually, it makes sense that they would do books and stories like this because it sets it up for a lot of potential for people to just kind of do some really creative stuff.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think that I'm not going to try and read it. I'm going to give each issue a chance. But I'm like, man, 3 Justice League books after like all these miniseries.
Well, and Justice League, the main book is
$4.99, $3.99,
twice a month,
whatever. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. So, anyways, that was the biggest news for me coming out. And then they talked about a few other books like the.
Well, and what's interesting coming out of that too, like referring to the Justice League, some of the big news is you have the Hall of Justice is going to be where all the different teams are working out of.
I like that.
And a new Titans team, which supposedly, right? Like, were you going to say something about that?
Well, no, I wasn't really going to jump on the Titans thing. Like, it's cool. It's just, it didn't.
It's like a Justice League in training. Is what I heard. Like the
Young
new
Justice
take.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, Young Justice.
Young Justice. Season 3 coming soon. So there was that. So I thought that was like the biggest news. But overall, it seemed like a quiet WonderCon. I got to meet Mitch Gerard, so that was cool. Cool guy.
Yeah.
And he was at that panel where he was just kind of talking about... It was cool. It was like when they just all go on the panel and just kind of chat. He wasn't really promoting anything except Mr. Miracle. Like, oh, yeah, you should totally read that. Like, it was him and Josh Williamson and the 2 sisters that write...
Julie and Shauna Benson.
That's right. And so...
they're going to be doing Green Arrow.
They're doing Green Arrow, and they were really pumped. And the artwork they showed was really cool. It was just cool to see. It was like a very low key panel, but it was fun. I like going to the DC panels because it's not like it's not like it's like huge news, but it's really cool just to see them all chat about what's going on and be excited about the books. And
it puts a face and a personality to the name that you kind of see on that title. And
they're definitely fun. I was really actually intrigued by like, dude, they're just taking it bare bones. It's going to be Green Arrow and it's going to be Black Canary, and that's what they're like. That's what we want to write about. And so it's cool. So
that's
excited about that. But yeah, I got to talk to Mitch Gerard a little bit. I had him sign my Mr. Miracle issue 1 in 7, and he was cool. He was a cool dude, and he was pretty excited about what he's able to do. And one of the things he said is like him and Tom King weren't expecting Mr. Miracle to like blow up the way it's blowing up and getting all this critical acclaim and stuff. It was just like a project. Like it was a project that. Freaking Dan, DiDio was like, here, work on Mr. Miracle. And now it's this like amazing, like it's probably going to be this book. People are like, Mr. Miracle is amazing. You should read it. And now there's a whole bunch of other opportunities that he said that they're going to be working on. So pretty cool. I also got to meet Ed Piskor, who did X-Men Grand Design and the Hip Hop Family Tree. That was cool. Got to hang out, and he showed me like a sneak preview of the like collected edition of issues 1 and 2, which is in the same format of like kind of that treasury edition size of the Hip Hop Family Tree books that he's put out. So that was cool. Yeah. Just it's really cool to talk to creators when they have time. I feel like when you're online, it's always like this pressure, but most people are always pretty cool, and so you kind of wish like there was a way to hang out. You know, hey, what are you guys doing later on? Yeah, man, not a whole lot of WonderCon news. I mean, at least for me. Like, sorry, there's probably way better like sources online where you can find and go check them out. You
don't get the experience.
Yeah, you won't get the experience that I had. Yeah, the cosplay, the sweat. Other news coming out the last few weeks. I was reading that Deadpool like they filmed a super top secret cameo. I don't even know what that means. Like speculating is always fun. I don't know. Part of me thinks.
Professor X.
Is it Professor X? Is it?
I don't know.
Is it MCU stuff? Is the Fox deal done? I doubt it's that because the Disney deal's not done. Like they haven't announced anything like that. So who knows, dude?
Oh, dude, but that's a good segue to talk about.
Yeah.
The Deadpool cartoon television show that
Yeah,
we're
man.
not getting anymore. Apparently,
That's kind of
FX
jank, dude.
dropped it, citing the generic creative differences.
We had creative differences.
And so, what's interesting that came out of this, though, because that's lame,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of whatever. But you have coming out of this, people always want to place the blame somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people. It seemed like we're starting to make comments about Donald Glover is too busy. He's doing too many different things, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes on like a day later,
Mm-hmm.
like 2:00 in the morning, and be like, "For the record, I wasn't too busy to work on Deadpool," and then tweets out a Twitter thread of 15 pages, and it's a script. Justin, did you read this script?
Yeah, but I also read that was not real. That was fake too. That was just him.
No, that was just him writing it.
Like
That's the thing is like this wasn't an actual. Here's the thing: it would be
Yeah.
funny if it was because it was called Finale,
mm-hmm.
and it had a lot of things referencing, like talking about like he was referencing breaking the fourth wall, right? Like Deadpool does about how people reading this, or about like lamenting that the show got canceled and how he was going to be stuck on Freeform now and stuff like that. Like a lot of really good stuff. But I'm like, oh, you're definitely just making a comment about this, and I think that makes it even more impressive that he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm still totally good to work on this show. I'll show you guys. Here's what it would have been. And I like laughed out loud when I was reading that script, dude.
Yeah, it was funny.
There's so many good jokes in that. Gosh, the whole there's this whole like Bitcoin like thing throughout. But then I feel like he also like used it to kind of like take some jabs too. That seemed like pretty good.
Yeah, they kind of made that joke about what was the line about selling toys to little kids and the pedophiles. Like it was pretty like he wasn't pulling
It's
any
like,
punches.
I guess we're not going to sell toys, so
Yeah.
they had to cancel us.
Yeah. Very interesting. I feel like it's weird because FX. That's what Atlanta's on that channel, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So is it Marvel? Was it FX? Or was it both? Was it like, this is not do this. This is cutting it too close. And then I read that like one of the biggest issues was they had an episode like lampooning Taylor Swift. And they're like, we can't do this.
No.
Yeah. And so.
Because he mentions that in the script when he's talking to the rhinoceros.
Yeah. So.
Oh, gosh. I can't even repeat some of the stuff he said. It was so good.
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess they don't want money. I feel like that would be like.
Even if they made this into an episode.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
So I'm sure he's going to take all this information and make his own,
Yeah.
not Deadpool. Maybe
He
what's
could just make
DC's
his own
version?
show.
What's DC's version of Deadpool? What was that character that's coming out? I don't know who it is, but just make a TV show of that guy.
There you go.
There you go. So yeah, it's kind of a disappointment. People lose.
It was nice to get that coming out of it, though.
Yeah,
Like, it was an enjoyable.
it's kind of a legend now. Like that thing is the legend. Like what could have been?
I know.
Released a Snyder cut.
Always the creative differences, man.
Yeah. A couple other things. So Avengers Infinity War, they're not even showing the whole movie yet. Like even at previews, they're only showing selected scenes. And they literally put out the Russo brothers put out a tweet. It was like, Thano warned you not to to release like info. And so if you do happen to see it.
It's like Thanos demands or requires your silence or something like that.
Yeah. Like keep quiet, guys. No spoilers. So that just lets you know someone's dying. So,
dude, something heavy is happening because they're doing that, and we still don't know the title of the next Avengers movie.
Yeah,
where they every
like
other
a year away.
Well, yeah, like
but everyone's filmed stuff. I mean, they filmed back to back.
May.
Yeah, they filmed back to back stuff.
May of 2019. That's going to be out. They got to have like a title card or something at the end of this movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's got to be some type of like.
And you're just going to
Avengers 4,
lose your mind.
X-Men. Avengers 4.
Well, I mean, because someone tweeted something about like how it kind of scares them that we can't know. I mean, obviously they're joking, right?
Yeah.
But then the Russo brothers to respond to be like, yeah, it should. It should scare you.
Then I bet you all the freaking Avengers die. They all die, and then the freaking reality gem brings them back. And Quicksilver. What's that little line he says? What does he say? What does he say?
You didn't see that coming?
You didn't see that coming?
Oh.
He's like the count.
The count.
You didn't see that coming.
One bullet.
Hey, 1, 2, 3 Quicksilvers. More like 3 bullets, dude. Hawkeye just tried to help you out, buddy. Anyways, so there's that. Kind of exciting, dude. That movie's gonna be here before you know it.
I'm excited, man.
Like episode 54.
We made our way through a lot of these movies with my boys.
Yeah.
We actually just finished Age of Ultron the other night.
Oh, nice.
That might be like, it has such great moments, but it might be overall like one of my least favorite MCU movies.
I just don't like Ultron. We're going to get, I think episode 53 will be
once we get
our
closer.
MCU stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of problems with that one. So,
yeah.
All right. And kind of last thing to talk about, like Fantastic Four, kind of in the whole MCU like conversation. People are like, how are they going to bring them in? Where are they at? You know,
the MCU, the movies or the books?
No, well, the movies, but like, here's the thing: like Marvel's bringing them back into the books. It's a big deal. They announced it this week. So Dan Slott, who's been writing Spider-Man forever, he's writing the book with Sarah Pichelli, who was doing Miles Morales. Spider-Man book for a while, and I forget what else she was doing.
Which is really good looking art. Like I feel like it seems
she's
to me
really
like a good style for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's
fantastic.
Hey there, she's
Mrs.
fantastic. So I'm excited for that. I'm not like a huge Fantastic Four fan, but I think they belong in the Marvel universe, and it's kind of like there's only been
Marvel's
a few times.
First family.
Yeah, but like make them interesting. And I think the last time I was really into it, I think it was.
Did you read the Future Foundation stuff?
I think I read a couple of them because cool. I read it on. It was what's his face. He was. Oh gosh, what's his name? He was one of those Marvel architects for a while, and I can't think of his name. But he was writing it. He was writing Fantastic Four and FF at the same time, right?
Yeah, and he was kind of in control of both of them. Jonathan Hickman. Yeah, he was doing that, and I read a bunch of it on Unlimited. And it felt very freeing because I didn't have to buy them. I was like, I'm just going to get Marvel Unlimited. So Spider-Man had a white suit to match them.
So he would join the team like whenever he jumped in, he'd just wear his like white Spider-Man suit.
It looked really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like high concept. I think Fantastic Four needs to have fun.
It needs to be high adventure. Like kinda,
I think that was just too highfalutin. It was just too much like
like very like cerebral.
Yeah, and for me, I was like, man, there's certain books that I can go there with, but this one, I just couldn't. I wasn't tracking, and so Mark Waid did a really fun one with Mike Ringo back in the day. That was good. Obviously, the John Byrne stuff is like legendary, but I just like the Fantastic Four like being, even if I'm not going to read it, I like that it's back, and I really want them to be a part of the movies because I'm like. Kind of need what they bring. They bring something special to like Marvel.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would love to see them return. So, anyways, that's really it with the Fantastic Four. Just I feel like it's telling though. Like, okay, they're getting ready. Like maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they know.
Yeah, I mean,
Disney deal's done.
Maybe that's what happens at the end of Infinity War.
Maybe. Who knows, dude? Maybe it's John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, man, I've been seeing that rumor.
Have you seen it? Did you see, like, the fan manip, like, a couple months back, someone made one of him, like, as, like, they literally just colored his suit blue.
I like John Krasinski. I think he's great. Not Mr. Fantastic.
Not Mr. Fantastic, yeah. And then we're going to get freaking Pam as Miss Invisible Woman. That's going to suck. And then Dwight Schrute will be the Thing. I don't need that. I don't need that.
No. Anyway.
So there's that. All right. So let's get into comics. So a couple weeks back, Metal 6 finally came out. Like after freaking a year, it feels like. Has it been a year?
Has it?
I feel like, okay.
It's been 6 issues. I know they had at least 1 or 2 months. So maybe like 8 months. It's been a while.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a long while. So let's just jump into the kind of wrapping up our thoughts on Metal. Overall, like just to get my rating out there.
For the series or the issue?
The series, I feel like the series is just a go for me.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's just a go. And I was really excited for it, like just the concept of it being crazy. But yeah. I didn't really love this issue. I love the end of it. Once they transitioned into like the
like
kind of
setup,
the epilogue, at the end of it, where it was like, the prologue of them like hanging out and like spoilers, by the way, like they're hanging out at Bruce Wayne's house having dinner. I like that stuff. I was really into that part of it. But everything else kind of felt very like hokey, and so I.
Do you feel like that was just this issue?
No. I feel like it started out really good. I was really excited. The first 2 issues I really liked, and then
it started out with them forming like a Voltron, giant
which
robot.
is cool. I love Voltrons. I love giant robots. I don't know what it was about this that just kind of felt. And again, remember I mentioned before that maybe it just wasn't coming out enough. I liked a few of the one shots based on the evil Batmans and stuff. Some of that was cool.
Yeah, I thought those were really good.
I don't know, man. Something about it just didn't like gel with me in certain parts, and
All right.
So yeah, I wish I had a better like breakdown on it. I just felt like it was kind of like taking advantage of the medium of comics to just comic book away explaining some of it, like if that makes any sense. You can totally push back on that. I was just like,
what is there something for that part
all
of
it just specifically? Like the metal, the part at the end where they all have to wear like armored suits and they just kind of will them on. That was just kind of weird. Like I just thought that was super goofy to me.
I don't know. It seems like I get it if you're not.
Reminds me of these stupid action figures. They had like their fractal tech gear. That's what it looks like to me. I was just like,
but there needed to be something that was kind of like, because that's the whole point, right? Like you kind of lose sight of that because there were a lot of breaks and everything's kind of telling the story's kind of all over the place as you're going across these. What was it, 6 issues?
Yeah.
You have this progression and this hunt though for them looking for what's the metal that's going to help us actually fix this, right?
Yeah.
So this is the culmination of them finding that and being able to get that, and it makes sense that it would come from the forge of like Earths and universes or whatever you want to call it. That you would have that metal. What I thought was interesting, I didn't catch it at first, is the 10th metal. Didn't they refer to it as Element X as well?
I'll have to go back and look at that.
Because that's a New Gods thing, right? Element X. I feel like it's like the metal of like creation or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's why I thought it was kind of cool. Is you end this series that's kind of like, let's just take everything and just to go along with all of the imagery and stuff. You crank it up to 11, you go for it, right, and just like go crazy with it, bonkers, over the top. You have the culmination of that is talking about the whole idea of this element is talking about the realm of possibility and what's able to be made from what's in you. And I'm like, when I say that, I mean, I know it can sound hokey, but I'm like...
Well, I mean, I feel like that's just Green Lantern. Like with his ring, he can make anything, and he can
make constructs. This is like actually creating new things. And so that's where I think, if nothing else, this series gets you to a really interesting place to where you're celebrating the act of creating, like just as a creative person. And you're saying, look, like the possibilities are endless, basically. Because what does it end with? It ends with the source wall breaking. Like when you've... there's a little note at the end of it, and Scott Snyder talks about like it was about friendship and like when you're able to do things together, you can make it through the dark and you can actually go further than you thought was possible. So that's what happened at the end of the story. They didn't just raise their multiverse and their existence out of the dark, but actually went even further up, and in doing that broke things open for new potential and new possibilities, which then for me makes sense of what they're going to do, because they do it at the end of every major event, and that's like these big splash pages previewing what's going to be coming in the next year.
And they did that, and
for me it made sense because of what the story was.
I liked all the setup stuff. I didn't like Joker and Batman teaming up I didn't like that at all.
Okay. What don't you like about that? Talk to me about that.
Like I saw it coming. Whereas if you go into Batman, White Knight, I like where they're going with that. With this, it just kind of felt like all you were doing was waiting for the Joker to get there. Like, you just knew like this is going to happen, and the payoff was kind of weak. It was like Batman working with the dude that killed Robin, the dude that paralyzed Barbara Gordon, and Batman's just like, well, we're going to handle this.
Well, what does Batman do though? He does whatever needs to be done to take care of stuff. Like that's what he's going to do.
I know, but it's just like
that's been his whole way of making us through
but
the
the Joker's also unpredictable, and maybe this is a Joker's way of killing a Batman, but
and that was the whole reason though too, because he needed something unpredictable.
To me, it was just kind of on the nose.
Thing, dude. That's okay.
It might be a preference. Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a bad comic book. It was just not my thing, and
the whole sequence looked really good though, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it looked great. It was just I would have liked it if he turned on Batman, on Bruce Wayne, in that section. If he would have turned on Bruce, then I'd have been like, there you go, and then Bruce like knocks him out or something. There you go.
Nah.
Because then okay, so where's the Joker? He just lets the Joker run off? Like there's no follow up to that. Your worst adversary is there to help you out in one point, but then what? Like, what do? Do you leave him in the cave?
Joker ran after him, dude.
Yeah, but like you just then now the Joker's gonna go murder a bunch of kids. Like what do you? There's no.
But now there's an actual Earth to be on.
You have to have a sacrifice. So.
Well, you can't. I feel like there's no easy way out of this one.
Maybe. I don't know. Then Batman runs out, and then Joker's like killing this guy. It's collapsing, so it's kind of insinuating that he dies. And then Batman runs out, and all of a sudden now he's got his heavy metal like armor on again. It just pops back on. So I don't know. Just a lot of weird things that don't make sense to me. Like we never really.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we don't really see
the Monitor.
Yeah, the monitors are there.
The bandages the whole time. So it's just putting a lot of more. Here's what this series is. It's putting a lot.
It needed one more issue, I think,
back on the board for story potential.
Yeah,
and then it's also taking the board and making it like 8 times as big.
Yeah. So here's what I like. I like the ending. I like the art with Michael Yannon. I like seeing John Jones. I like seeing Cyborg in a tuxedo. I like seeing John Jones. Swamp Thing with a bow tie.
Did you see Mr. Terrific?
It's Fair Play on the back.
Fair Play on the back. Gosh, dude, you got to give it up at some just.
No way, dude. He's a firm believer in fair play. So I like
Detective Chip is hanging out with him.
All that stuff was great. I was like, man, I wish this was the comic the whole time. I really enjoyed what they created at the end. And like you were talking about the little hints towards the future, you have a little bit of like, there's the new DC comic that are coming out with, Punisher Girl and whatnot.
Right.
Hawkman's coming out. I'm not a big fan of this new Hawkman mask.
Metalman and Red Tornado are present.
The Dark Stars, that's a pull right there. I don't know if I know about the Dark Stars. The Dark Stars was like...
I do not.
They were another like space force. There was the Dark Stars, there was the Green Lanterns, and there was like Legion. And so that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you got Flash War, something about Dark Pantheon,
yeah.
Atlantis, like coming rising out of the water. I mean,
all that stuff looks cool to me.
It's all interesting things. And then it looks like these guys on the far right are those figures that kind of factor into the No Justice miniseries.
Yeah. Okay, so what I did like is the payoff of Connor and John Kent rocking out at the end. Remember they were in the field with their amps and stuff?
Did you say Connor?
Oh, sorry. Oh, my gosh.
That's so sad.
Not Connor.
I wish it was
Jonathan
Connor.
Kent and Damian Wayne like rocking out with Alfred freaking on
with
the drums.
Alfred on the drums. Why not?
That to me was funny, dude. Like I that made me. It was like the feel good I needed. Like at the end, like I'm glad Bruce Wayne just has this like really punk rock club in the back of Wayne Manor. Like they just got Christmas lights hanging, so that was cool. And then the All Justice. Like,
it just seemed like a very. And here's where I'll agree with you that like there were parts of it that weren't my favorite. It was a very like Guardians of the Galaxy ending. Like let's all hold hands in a circle and we're going to think about making things better. Mm-hmm. I get what he's trying to do. Like I said, like I think the whole story, like looking back on it, is like about possibilities. Mm-hmm. And the whole first part of it, like the first like 5.5 out of 6 issues was about just the possibilities of all of the really horrible things, right? And then you got a little bit of stuff at like, but there's potential for really good as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I would give it it doesn't sink the series for me.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't feel like it was completely satisfying.
Yeah.
As far as a wrap up, although I am genuinely curious about the stuff to follow.
Yeah.
And I would say I wouldn't give it a go like you. I'd probably still give it a let's go.
Okay. It definitely makes me want to read these other books. Like it put some good bones out there. Like, ooh, I want them to build that. But it seemed like more of it was ways to wink and nod at some of the stuff Snyder and Capullo did in the Batman run. Like, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of fan service. Like you get the Riddler with his mohawk. That's from the freaking cover of Batman 1 from New 52. I'm not into Kendra's Hawk outfit. She kind of looks like Shadowhawk from like Image.
That's so true.
She just some of the designs are weird. I think they needed more. Like they just needed to flesh it out more, and maybe it needed another issue. So
I feel like if it would have taken a turn a little sooner and gotten more time.
Yeah, either that would have
the conflict of them kind of overcoming it. I feel like just balancing that out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So,
but dude, we get Hawkeye. I mean Hawk. Jeez, Hawkeye. Oh man, thank you, Age of Ultron. Hawkman coming out of this. I mean, if nothing else, we get Hawkman.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they follow through. Like I already saw that. I saw that in 2011 with Brightest Day. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that next week. But Hawkman isn't that difficult to do after Jeff Johns cleaned the plate. He made it really easy to do Hawkman. So, I did like this freaking Joker dragon. That was cool. Like, there's some really cool parts that are like, oh, that is awesome. But it's just not done. Really, to me, it's not elements. Done. It's not done well. You're like, oh man, like you could have made this way more epic. And it just felt like a rush to get to the end.
I don't think it feeling because I don't disagree that it felt a little rushed towards the very end. I don't think that makes it less epic though. It felt pretty epic.
Well, there we go. I just felt like
I would say
I wish it didn't have that Grant Morrison feel to it, like a widescreen feel to me. I don't know if that makes sense. And I think that's where I'm at. I like seeing this crazy, like the Hawk Avatar looking version of Hawkman, like fighting Barbados. Like that's cool. It's just, it's not enough for me. So, anyways,
not
Metal.
Enough.
Yeah, not enough. Overall, Metal for me is a go as well. I'm very curious how other people feel about Metal. It's just not what I thought it would be, and I was really excited for it.
Okay.
So the payoffs.
You were pumped for most of the series.
And here's the thing: like I read a book like Terrifics, and I really like it, and I'm glad that it came out of this book. But I'm glad I read Terrifics first before reading this, because this doesn't make me want to read Terrifics. It wouldn't have sent me to the store like, pick up Terrifics, all because they were so awesome. Even like Plastic Man's return in this issue doesn't feel very like...
It was okay.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay. He was a little ball forever, and then...
But hey, you get Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller design of that Batman jumping in, though.
That was definitely pretty Frank Miller, dude. Yeah, I mean, again, there's great parts to this whole book, and then there's parts where you're like, okay.
So that was Metal.
That was Metal, man. Sorry. Like I don't mean
8 or 9 months of our lives.
Dude, 8 or 9. Now it's over. And there you go. Now you got $4 back.
On to the next one, as they say.
On to the next one, dude. So let's...
You know what else came out?
What else came out, buddy?
Last week.
Daredevil 600.
Doomsday Clock number 4.
Oh, okay. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed it because I was wondering who the heck this Rorschach was, and I love how they connected him to the doctor, like the psychologist that was interviewing Rorschach. So I thought that was really cool.
I did love this issue.
You did? Okay.
I just felt lost the whole time.
Okay.
Even the way it was jumping around within his origin story and stuff,
really?
I just kind of didn't feel super connected by the end of it.
All right.
Still really pretty, man.
Yeah.
It's just Gary Frank knows how to draw.
You, Gary Frank, drawing.
Gary Frank, you know what
Frankly,
you're doing, man.
You know how to draw, Gary Frank. Yeah, he actually said that he's working on Batman 3 I mean, Earth 1, Part 3, Book 3. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Just once Doomsday Clock is over, I'm guessing?
Yeah, in about 3 years, so. In about 3 years,
it's gonna be.
Get ready for Batman Earth 3.
I also had Terrifics number 2.
Yeah, so tell us about that. Make me happy. I did not read it.
Here's the thing I like about it. Because I said last week like that Mr. Terrific was actually my least favorite part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seemed like just the guy. He was like,
I'm just gonna
What'd you call him?
I called him like he was like walking exposition.
Yeah.
So he kind of does that still this, but you have guys like Metamorpho and Plastic Man actually calling him out on stuff to be like, why do you keep stating all these obvious things?
That's good.
And then at one point, Metamorpho definitely I think he just says like, what a dick. Just and it explains like why they're going to be a team and kind of why they're together and stuff. And I think it does it in an interesting way. Ivan Rice, still really great art. Read today that Doc Shaner is going to be helping out on art duties starting in issue 4, which is exciting. But yeah, it feels really fun. Honestly, reading this and Metal 6 in the same week, I was like, oh, I feel like this was the balance that Metal was going for. That it almost like dipped too hard into one side of things.
Yeah, I need to read this because I actually really like Terrifics number 1. And so I felt like this one came out really fast, or maybe I just wasn't.
It felt that way to me as well. It didn't feel like a whole month necessarily.
Jumping in really quick, the last time we talked about Terrifics, I kept calling her Phantom Lady, and it's Phantom Girl. Phantom Lady is a different character than Phantom Girl. Phantom Girl is a Legionnaire character. And our friend Jay Yaz told me that. And I was like, Jay. Sorry about that. So I'm all about people like correcting me. Please correct me so that I can stand in truth. I need to stand in some truth. So, yeah, I was like, she definitely does not look like Phantom Lady. So go Google Phantom Lady. Totally different character. So, yeah. So do you think that the Terrifics will be the one, like the one comic coming out of the new age of DC heroes that lasts?
It seems that way to me. I mean, I saw the Curse of Brimstone on the racks today, and I almost grabbed it just out of pure curiosity. But I withheld just because flipping through it, it kind of reminded me of like an old like Ultraverse or like Image stuff. Like it just felt like it didn't look super great to me. So.
Yeah. The only one I've been looking. You know what? I almost got that like Spider-Man looking dude the other week.
Yeah. Sideways,
just because I like Kenneth Rocafort's art.
It's true.
His art is so good. I don't know why he's not, like, I don't know, more sought after. But they said he's one of those DC, what do they call him? Master class?
Oh, really?
Isn't he part of the master class that they're talking about?
Apparently.
What happened to the master class? Anyways.
I don't know.
Because they talked about the master class. It's gone.
Even a few of the other books, rather, not just issues, I read are bringing on help for art.
Oh, really?
Like within like the next few issues. So it's not even like just the masterclass guys. Like, what are you guys even doing?
Yeah, isn't John
I
Rita
wonder
Jr.
with all of the weight being thrown in and all of the quality thrown into the Justice League realm of things, if they're just kind of gonna let the New Age of Heroes stuff fizzle. Whatever doesn't work.
Yeah.
Terrifics seems solid enough to me, honestly, to last.
Seems fun. That's why Marvel's bringing the Fantastic Four back. They're like, let's show you how it's done.
There's so many.
All the Terrifics are out, huh? Well, we're going to show you the Fantastics. So, yeah, whatever. Whatever. So there was that.
What about this week?
Yeah, this week I got Punisher 223. I got Batman 44, Batman White Knight 7, Superman 44, and then Amazing Spider-Man 798. And then last week was Daredevil 600, but I didn't buy comics last week because Easter. It was just too crazy.
Because Easter.
But the only thing...
Dang, dude, that's a lot of books.
Yeah,
good job.
But Daredevil 600, I just want to jump into that. Really good. Kind of disappointing in the sense that it was issue 600, and I thought that there was going to be this, like... I thought it was going to be a longer issue. Mm-hmm. I felt like the art was rushed. But overall, the story was cool, and I think it's actually necessary to read after you read Defenders 10.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it has all the heroes, and they're really setting up to, like, actually, I'll take that back a little bit. There was a little bit of a disappointing part of the story as well, because you know how at the end of Defenders, like they're set up to have kingpins everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, Wilson Fisk is like, all right, you guys are going to be the kingpin here. Well, all these people are meeting up. Or at least there's like 4 of the families kind of meeting up. And he's just setting them up so they can take each other out. So there was no plan to make kingpins down like all over the place. He just wanted them to take each other out. And so those heroes that are there at the end of, most of them that are there at the end of Defenders 10 are there in this book. Well, they show up at the end of 699. I mean, was it 599? Yeah. And there's this kind of this big like battle that ensues. Moon Knight's like, we're taking these fools out. And so, you know, all the street level heroes jump in there and then they all get arrested. And so I'm not going to spoil it. It has like a really cool ending. Like, oh, dang. But I was like, this is over already. And then there's like, read more Daredevil in the next couple of pages. And I thought there's going to be some cool like backups. And so the first backup is this thing about Foggy Nelson, like kind of always being there around Matt Murdock. And then that was it. I was like, wait, that would have been okay if there was more, but that was it. I was like, that's all I got. So I was super disappointed in what they gave us for Daredevil 600. I felt like there could have been a couple more backup stories, like maybe 3 or 4.
Is that going to be something? Is that one of those books that keeps going or restarts for the fresh start?
I feel like it keeps going. I mean, it just said read. It said read 601.
Okay, cool.
For the next part of like what's going on with the story. So
that's good.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I asked the guy at the comic store today, dude, about like he was asking me about Punisher. He's like, "Is that good?" I go, "Dude, I've been loving it." So I'll segue into Punisher 223. Like Punisher's going around the War Machine, and he still is now. He was doing this like job for Shield for like Nick Fury, and so that thing is done as of this issue, and so now he's going back to like New York in the War Machine outfit. I'm like, oh dang! Like it gives you a little bit of a tease of him just going. He goes into some like room, blows some fool up, and it's like Frank's back in like New York, and so I really like it. It's just a good team. Like it's a fun book.
And who's writing that?
Matthew Rosenberg is writing that, and then the penciler is Guy Villanova. I hope I pronounced that right, but I mentioned before, like I think when it first started going on, he looks just like Homeboy from the Punisher show. So it's definitely like he's got the likeness of freaking not Shane, of Joe Bernthal.
It is Shane.
Yeah. But he's got that likeness down. Like that's who it is, and so that's just a great book. I want to go back and say and give kind of my rating on Punisher. It is, for me, it's a let's go. It's so fun. Daredevil was a let's go as well. But I just hope they don't like restart these numbers on it. Let it go. Just let it be Punisher 2. It's so much easier for me to like figure it out. Like if it's 225, 226, if I'm going to be looking for issue 1, I'm going to be lost, man. I don't need that. I don't need that type of drama in my comics. Just keep making more numbers. All the numbers, dude. I want to see Punisher 300 one day. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to buy the next 60 issues of Punisher. I mean, if it starts to suck, I'm dropping it. But I'm trying to streamline, dude. If it's not good, I will not buy it. Except
good
Batman.
Job, dude.
Except Batman. But Batman's been good. Batman's been good. So let's get into Batman 44, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that one? We haven't talked about Batman in a while.
I know, right?
We've been trying not to.
Purposely. So my first read through it, I didn't love it.
Really? Okay.
I just felt like I wasn't sure what I was supposed to like care about in the story. Like, what am I supposed to kind of latch onto? You know what I mean? Like, not a lot of dialogue, not a lot of other stuff going on. So I think I just kind of felt disconnected a little bit.
Okay.
But thinking about it more and kind of trying to look up, because it has a lot of those flashbacks, right? And so trying to look up like what are those from? You know, like what do they reference? Like why is he using those? And then I was thinking about it more. I'm like, you know, this whole idea of her going out and still stealing stuff to get what she wants, even though she's getting married to a person that could have bought like that entire like store of dresses. I I think that's an interesting thing. Like, that's a way to kind of throw a wrench in the works without like they're breaking up, but more like, dude, like this is like her nature. What are you going to do about that? Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't just do it to get by. She does it because she enjoys it. Yeah. Like, it's part of who she is. So I think that's one aspect of it. Because you have like all of these interactions is Batman telling her to like stop being a burglar. Do you know what I mean? Like trying to chase her down and say like, stop doing this stuff. Like, there's no future if you do this stuff. Intermingled with her picking out a wedding dress, like, and going through all of it and then just sneaking back in. Yeah. So I think there's that part of it. And now that I've thought about it more, I'm like, man, that was a more subtle, kind of quiet way for Tom King to tell a story. Yeah. And I liked that it was Joelle Jones and Michael Yannon like back and forth between her going through the dresses and the flashbacks. I thought that trade off in art made a lot of sense.
It wasn't jarring either. For whatever reason, the back and forth was good. Like, I didn't mind because it was two separate stories interweaving. Like, going back to Metal, remember Forge and the casting? Like, it was weird. It was like,
gosh, dude, that was so jarring.
Why are you not just drawing that sequence? So it was nice that it was all the Catwoman, like her getting her outfit was all Joelle Jones. And then all this stuff was Yannon. And so the flashbacks.
Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, it was good.
And so the other part of it that I thought was interesting, that I didn't think about honestly until someone else pointed it out, was you have these different timestamps, right? Like throughout the story, so you know what time of the night it is and stuff. Mm-hmm. It starts at like 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. Bruce Wayne's sleeping. Yeah. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, Bruce Wayne is still sleeping. Yeah. What the heck? He's not patrolling during the middle of the night. Like that I feel like that's like a really interesting character development without drawing a ton of attention to it. Huh. What do you think about that?
I didn't even think about it. So now I'm thinking about it, and maybe maybe that's something that he's going to have to like deal with later. Like, I've become lax. I'm becoming more of a husband and a family member than Batman. Or maybe he's like, Nightwing's, it's Tuesday, Nightwing's out. I don't know. I don't know. Like, well, I mean,
I think about it in context of what he's been talking about this whole Batman run, right? Mm-hmm. And we still go back to that. It felt like a big moment where he runs into a version of his dad and he tells him like, don't be Batman. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be. Yeah. And so I wonder if it's less like he's getting soft and more I'm like, man, is he just like choosing to let go of some stuff? Like, he's saying like, I'm going to change for the sake of this relationship working out. But then you see that happening while she's not out and about, not changing.
Or you don't even know what the next issue is going to be. It's going to be like, I was there the whole time. And he like put like a wad of cash like at the dress store, you know.
Totally. No, I think that's absolutely a possibility. Yeah. But those are my thoughts. Like, you asked my thoughts. Those are my thoughts after I kind of sat on it a little bit today, a little more, instead of just that first initial, just, you can just kind of blow through something and just read it and be like, yeah. It didn't hit me as strong as some of the other issues initially. But I thought it was still really well done.
It's definitely a necessary part of the story that he's telling, and I really liked all the different costume iterations they showed. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny, like,
and then it reflected her trying on wedding dresses.
Yeah,
I thought that was really
different,
cool.
Like outfits. Like she has to get that right fit, dude. A lot of I don't know where I read it, but it was like a lot of these like different like costumes are reflected in they're referencing Batman stories from the past.
Correct.
And so like all these outfits are from from her history, and so
it's like 70 something years of history, like kind of all being condensed down.
Yeah, I mean it's funny how the most recent version is the Darwin Cook outfit, really. Like, she's kind of had that one forever.
That one's kind of stuck around a little more.
Since 2000, like I think it was early 2000s. Because the one before that was just that purple one with the boots and stuff, the Jim Ballant one. But I liked all that. And one of the questions I was thinking, I was like, oh, there's Batman. He's wearing trunks. in a couple of these scenes. And so they've kind of eliminated the yellow bat, like in the New 52. And so now it's like, it's not a big deal, but part of me is like, well, when did he wear that? If they always show him in the New 52 suit, if we're flashing back.
Well, they do a little bit, but no, like when he's...
Yeah, but he's definitely wearing trunks in some of these shots.
We don't see the trunks and some of the other stuff when we look at when he's talking to her and she's in the red dress.
Mm-hmm.
Like that definitely looks like a little different kind of profile. The ears look different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's definitely like a difference. Some of them. The biggest one I think is when he's chasing her on the horse.
Yeah.
And when when she has the whip and the purple dress.
Yeah.
He's got the oval. He's got the more blue and gray kind of looking outfit.
Yeah, kind of the classic. So,
which, like, man, drawn by that's Michael Yennon for the
Yennon.
flashbacks, right? Like so good.
Yeah,
so good, man.
Yep. Yeah. And
you know what's really funny? So in looking up and researching a little bit today, when you look at like where these were drawn from, because they actually are from like actual comics, like. He maybe decompresses a little bit the panels, like, you know, instead of like all of the dialogue being in one panel, he like kind of spaces it out. But that first one, when she's in the green dress, initially, like the first thing is her "Let Go of Me," and I seriously don't know if someone just put this on or what, but it says "Quiet" or "Papa Spank."
I've actually I remember reading that before, like not in.
But like, is that real?
Yeah, that's an actual like.
So they started.
There's been a meme of that. Yeah,
they started the next cell over in this, which is really funny because the next one was like, "Well, what's the matter? Haven't you seen a pretty girl before?" Instead of the one like "Quiet" or "Papa Spank."
Oh, that's really funny, dude. Quiet or Papa Spank. Oh boy.
So good job. Tom King leaving that part out.
Yeah. Or bad job leaving it.
Bad job leaving it out.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Some really good moments. Really cool to see all the different Catwoman costumes as interpreted by Michael Yennon.
Yeah.
Just really good stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What a lot of research too. Like to go in there and like, okay, we're going to look up all these key moments. Cause I recognize the Heart of Hush one actually. That's there. Where she is saying we're done. Mm-hmm. So they're referencing that. So that's cool. Quiet or Papa Spank,
dude. You're coming back to it.
Jeez, dude. Well, what's the matter? So yeah, it's cool. I Batman, let's go. Yep. Batman 44 is a let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do that. Batman. I'm gonna say I didn't read Superman 44 yet or Amazing Spider-Man 798. So I can't really say much.
Already.
But White Knight 7, dude.
Oh, boy.
What do you got to say about that, dude?
The book is just consistently good, man. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So we have, I want to shout out, because we usually don't talk about it, Matt Hollingsworth on colors.
Oh, yeah.
Color palette we use for this book is fantastic. Designs for all the different characters, amazing. Composition of the different cells and stuff like that, especially here as you have Jack Napier struggling with like transforming back into the Joker, like some just really interesting compositional stuff laid out. Just really,
he can just change on a whim, right? That's what it's looking at. Like
it looks like it, yeah.
He's just I'm Joker. So he's not painting his face; it's a straight up physical transformation. Yeah,
just really good, man. Yeah, like the same stuff like we always say. Like it's just a fantastic book. I think it's really incredible storytelling using characters that we've seen a lot of, and it feels incredibly fresh and just I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
I like it.
The stuff with Jason Todd was really honked up, like. Where it's like he actually still is alive. He wanted you to die because he hated being like with you.
Yeah,
he hated the life he had.
That is more messed up than him
being dead.
Being dead. Yeah.
The thing that bugs me still though is how Dick Grayson's the second Robin now. Like I don't know why. It just made me think like, why is it necessary for Dick Grayson to be second?
Okay, so you want to know something funny?
What?
I read something about that because I was curious about it as well, because people have been raising a stink about it, and I guess
I haven't seen any of that. I mean,
Sean Gordon Murphy said something to the effect of like he was just really bad at like remembering the details and didn't catch it until like the second issue or something like that.
No way. Come on, man.
What are you doing?
He was like, wait, Dick Grayson was first? If they wanted to change that in the hardcover, I wouldn't be mad. I like it.
Pretty funny, right?
He did mention like one time, like, oh, I forget how many bat spikes go on Batman's arm. Like, there's 2, there's 3. But regardless, dude, these freaking Batmobiles in this. I mean, he's got all the freaking Batmobiles, dude. The best and the best ones. You know?
Yeah, you have Batman 66.
You got the Burtonmobile, the animated series one, and then you got freaking the Tumbler at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's every freaking Batmobile is here, dude. I just want him to do a book called Batmobile, and it's Batmobile is fighting crime. All the Batmobiles. Batman's not even it. It's just cars driving everywhere. When he did Punk Rock Jesus, that book, all the machines in that book were so good, dude. This guy.
Yeah. All of it's really good, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm just going to keep repeating myself every time we talk about this series. It's a gotta go.
Yeah, it's definitely a gotta go. It's going to be like Mr. Miracle. It's going to be one of those things. Oh, 2018. There's a few runs that were fantastic, and you're going to be like Mr. Miracle and Batman White Knight. Those are ones you got to buy. You got to buy the trade on that, because like you're going to be like, oh, Long Halloween, Batman White Knight. It's going to be up there with everything. And
Agreed.
And even though it's like out of continuity, it's just its own thing. It's just such a good book, dude. So everyone, if you're not reading it or buying it, get that junk. Oh man, look at that Burton Batmobile right there. You know he favors it. It's always like up front and center. It looks so awesome.
It's true.
I'm looking at it. It's beautiful, dude. Love it. I love that book. I love that Batman still uses a key though to start it. Like he has that that key. He's like.
I thought it was a really good moment is when Jack is telling him the story of Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And you have that reveal. You see just that quick like look of shock on Batman's face, and you kind of see his eyes like through the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
it's good.
Really good, and you can tell it's like a heartbreaking thing, and you get that moment of where it's just silent.
Yeah. And this team up is what I like. This Joker Batman team up makes sense because I can tell Batman's using them. You know, Batman's using them because the next issue it's like, fool, I had you. I know what's going on. Batman knows, dude. Moving on, dude, we can get into some listener questions really quick. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Do you have any thoughts on what's your final rating for White Knight 7?
Gotta go.
Gotta go, yeah. We're both gotta goes on that, right? That's a fantastic book, dude.
Can't believe we only have one more issue left on that, dude.
I know. It's going this one feels like it's moving.
Yep.
Like Metal felt like it was slugging around, dude. This is like a comic book that is moving. So I wanted to give my rating for Doomsday Clock as well. And for me, it's a let's go. Like
for me, it's a go.
Okay, fair enough, dude. Just so we can put that in the echelons of time. So it's there. All right, listener question from Nick Oval: who will direct the movie adaptation of Scott Snyder's Justice League? You can't have anyone named Snyder work on Justice League. It's just not going to happen. So, but
you want Zack Snyder to direct Scott Snyder's?
Why not, dude? That's the one book. That would be that thing that would make sense. I don't know what his book's going to be like. It's probably crazy. So I don't know. Get like Ridley Scott on there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.
It's definitely not like a Steven Spielberg. It would be someone who can do something kind of crazy and dark. And
well, I mean, Steven Spielberg can kind of do crazy if you see Ready Player One.
There you go. Or David Lynch. Let David Lynch do it.
Oh gosh.
So kind of
maybe a little too far on that one.
I don't know. Or freaking what's his name? Isle Dogs guy. Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. A Wes Anderson Justice League.
Please, can we make a Wes Anderson Justice League?
It's all
Owen Wilson is Aquaman. He's like, hey guys.
Hey,
all right.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Wow, Atlantis. I'm the king of Atlantis. Wow. He's just wearing a little green jumpsuit.
Of course, you would make him Aquaman.
Why not, dude? Okay, so who else would be? Jason Schwartzman, Bruce Wayne, Batman. There you go. Right off the bat. Bill Murray.
Oh, really? You
Bill
wouldn't
Murray
put
is
Ben
Superman.
Stiller?
Oh, no. Ben Stiller is... Oh, gosh. Ben Stiller is Superman.
No.
Yeah.
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson is Superman?
Yeah.
Then, what's her face?
And then
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Ed
Gwyneth
Norton
Paltrow
is the
Black
Flash.
Knight. Edward Norton is Flash. Who's Bill Murray then? Bill Murray's John Jones. He's just a Martian Manhunter.
He could be Alfred. He would just be a
could.
completely off version of Alfred.
Oh man, Wes Anderson's Justice League. That's what we want. Sorry, Nick, we totally biffed your question. But
well, I have no idea what Scott Snyder's Justice League is going to be about,
Yeah.
so I can just make it whatever I want.
Wes Anderson's Justice League would be way awesome, and I think that's the direction. Now, I can get on board with DC Films if they're going to make their one-off movies. Make a Wes Anderson Justice League, please.
Oh man,
That would be a great movie, dude. That would be fantastic.
it's just like establishing shots of like the Hall of Justice.
Hall of Justice.
And
what do
you call the Legion of Doom's lair?
I don't know.
Hall
In the
of
swamps it's just a Hall of Doom, right? Or Legion of Doom
The
headquarters.
Dome of Doom.
The Dome of Doom.
It's like a dome, right?
I don't know. I think it's just the Legion of Doom headquarters. Darth Vader's helmet. Like, we've all shrunken down in the Darth Vader's helmet.
Everyone's got that classic bad guy voice.
They're like, hey. It's like, I sound like this.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. Hopefully that was a satisfying. I feel like that answer is really good. Wes Anderson's Justice League.
Yeah, dude.
Right, there you go. All right. Oh, maybe. What if Bill Murray's Aquaman? Even better. He can grow that beard.
Oh man.
And Owen Wilson is Alfred. There you go. Owen Wilson's Aquaman is Lex Luthor.
Wow.
Wow, Superman. All right, a couple other questions. How do you feel about Gwenpool? This is from William Green on Facebook. How do you feel about Gwenpool?
I think it's a mashup of a character I didn't ask for with one I didn't want.
Wow. So wait, so who didn't you want? You didn't want Gwen?
I don't know. That just sounded really good in my mind.
That sounds kind of mean.
Oh, wow. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's my honest answer. I think we're oversaturated with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Although I'm genuinely, obviously excited for the movie. I think it's going to be good. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
Would have loved to see the TV show. But in the books, I just feel like the idea of like everyone's Deadpool and it kind of gives everyone a chance to break the fourth wall and just not take anything seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think we need more characters like that. I think having one is great. And then combining that with Gwen Stacy just feels like something like I didn't ask for. Like I didn't need, you know? Like it's...
But does that mean it's not good?
So my main experience with Gwenpool was when she crossed over with the Champions.
Okay.
In the Champions book last year.
Okay.
And I did not enjoy those issues as much. She didn't seem like funny, kind of like annoying and overbearing, and just kind of like annoying and overbearing.
Gotcha.
And so I don't know what, so I don't know. Maybe I'm probably not the target demographic for this character. So that's, I'm okay not caring about her all that much.
Gotcha.
I think one Deadpool is enough. We don't need Duckpool, Deadpool, Gwenpool, all these different things. I'm like, I just don't need that. And I think the idea of Gwen Stacy or a version of her being like
I hear you saying that
Spider Gwen, like I think is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that needs to be like across the line.
Well, that's what this is a riff
character.
on Spider-Gwen for sure. Like, hey, we brought her back for this. Let's make her a... Now, is Gwenpool in the same universe as Spider-Gwen or...
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Okay. I don't know how to answer that. So for me, I'm kind of in the same boat as Matt. I don't care about Gwenpool. To me, I feel like make one Deadpool book and that's it. But I'm sure Deadpool sells a billion, so that's why Marvel makes a whole bunch. Like everyone's buying Deadpool books. So there's just, for me, it doesn't make any sense to me. So But again, like Matt, I'm not the target audience. There's probably someone out there who loves Gwenpool, and people cosplay as her, and it's a thing. So she's part of the Marvel Universe. Maybe she has backup stories, or maybe she just shares the book of Deadpool. If she's so great, if she's such a character that's needed, put her in the Deadpool book. I don't know. I know people were upset when it got canceled. Like her book got canceled. It was part of that hey, you guys canceled a whole bunch of characters that had representation. I don't know what representation that Gwenpool has. It just seems like a ape of an ape. So just a copy of a copy. So
totally.
There's that. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't know where you sit at, William, on Gwenpool. I hope that she's not your favorite character. I hope that we didn't offend you. But there you go.
Hey, there's lots of different characters for lots of different people.
Lots of different characters.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I wish no ill will to Gwenpool or her fans.
Yeah. You guys keep on keeping on. Buy that book while it lasts. So, all right. So we're going to wrap up. I just want to say next episode, it's going to be our all new 52 episode, because it's episode 52.
And it'll be new.
And it'll be new for then.
For like a day.
For the day. New. It'll be, whenever you hear it, it'll be new. And we are going to talk about the new 52 error.
Oh, man.
Hey, era already of comics. The good, the bad, the what they should have did, the what they did good.
Should have did.
What they should have did, and what they did wrong, and everything in between. So kind of excited for that episode. I've been waiting since we first planned it. So,
dude, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my research this week. Oh, man.
I'm going to wear a turtleneck. I'm going to wear a turtleneck that week, and
yes,
I'm going to wear just segmented pants. And I think
retractable pants.
I'm not going to be married anymore. That's part of it. I won't be married. There's a whole bunch of different things I need to get prepared for.
Don't give away all of it, man.
For New 52. So, all right, man. So, Matt, how can people get a hold of you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Matt Ritchie.
All right. You can find me at J_Rocca. You can find the show at Let's Go Comic Show on Twitter and Instagram. You can go to www.letsgocast.com, where you can check out this show and the Let's Go podcast and the Start Today podcast. And if you want to buy some sweet merch, just click on that merch tab and buy away. You can look so fashionably awesome wearing a Let's Go Comic Show t-shirt at the beach, at school, at Target. You're walking around at Target, you can be promoting this show. So go ahead and do that. Also, if you're like, hey, man, I want to support what you guys are doing, please go to patreon.com/letsgocast, and you can give us a little bit of money that helps us make the show better, because this is a labor of love. And if you love it, put a little bit of labor on it. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll get handsomely rewarded with stuff. So please head over there and be a part of what we're doing. And if you're feeling super, super like, hey, man, my pockets are tight. I got tight pockets. I'm wearing tight pants. Head over to the podcast store with, that's connected to iTunes, and you can give our show 5 stars. But don't forget to leave the comment. I've been seeing the stars, but I need the comments, because we want to read the comments. The comments are fun, and it doesn't take that long. It takes about 4 minutes. And I know when you're hanging out on Facebook, you're reading people's statuses, you're going to get in that fight. Don't get in that Facebook fight. Go and leave us a positive comment and 5 stars on the podcast store. So that helps us out tremendously. So please go and do that. There you go. We're done with that. So my name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.